completely different.
I've said to both of them at one point, if I could stick you both in a cannon and shoot you to the moon, I would.
Dave Portnoy is reacting to Brianna LaPaglia and Grace O'Malley's falling out.
Whoa, it's almost like when you talk about your ex over and over again and never talk about any of your flaws, it becomes insufferable to be around. When I went through my breakup, that was all I talked about, and it took me a while to get over it. Brianna, get over it. You literally ruined a podcast that was popular because of it.
One day after Grace announced she was leaving Barstool Sports
It proves everything I said about Brianna.
Announced she was leaving Barstool Sports following the end of her 20-year friendship with Brianna Chicken Fried LaPaglia, the company's founder shares his thoughts on her departure. Dave says this about the backlash from her exit in a December 17th video on X.
But I don't know what people want Barstool to do. You have two friends, 20 years, both employees, who ended up hating each other.
Over Zach Bryan. And that's the thing, is all these women that speak out about the man, all these cloud chasers, you're literally letting relationships end because of the man. You claim you don't need the man, but then the man literally has so much power that it's ending relationships.
So it sucks. It's probably for the best that O'Malley goes on her way, and who knows with Brie.
Dave just seems like, I'm a fan of Dave. I like the idea of Dave. I don't think I would ever want to work for Dave. He just seems like he would just throw you under the bus.
But, I mean, I don't know why the internet all hates one person versus the other. To me,
because Brianna has only talked about her ex over and over and has made it about her, and we never hear any of what she did. We hear about narcissistic, blah, 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 blah. Of course, you're going to side with her because she's pretty and she makes your podcast popular. You don't need her, but the BFF podcast, she's a part of it, so you're going to defend your team. You got to look at it from the outsider looking in. She's an obsessed bitch.
Like, let them both live their lives and be happy.
Dave also shares more insight into the fallout, which seemingly stemmed from Brianna's relationship with Zach Bryan.
Obviously, Zach Bryan starts all this thing. Everyone knows that, and Zach's a dick to Grace, and Brie's getting like...
Yeah, I feel like Zach Bryan probably had some like upbringing and to be around annoying, dumb alcoholics, and maybe he was just like a dry drunk or an actual drunk, because he has drunk behavior vibes.
Like, just by Zach, terrible. They start hating each other.
Dave goes on to add that Brianna, with whom he co-hosted the BFFs podcast alongside Josh Richards from 2020 to 2024.
Josh Richards is just that like dude that's just like, I don't know, he's just so pretty and so Gen Z, it hurts.
Told him in October that she planned to end her and Grace's podcast, Plan Brie, because they, quote, just don't get along.
October.
Yeah, Brie seems like she's pretty hard to get along with.
Brie calls me, texts me, I can't remember what it is, and she's like, Plan Brie, I want to end it. Like, me and O'Malley, we just don't get along anymore. I can't do this with her.
The thing is, she cries to Dave Portnoy over everything. Here's what I mean. There's a podcast I like called Kirk Minahan. He's a Boston radio legend. He's a shock jock. And he made fun of her, and it's on the Barstool Network. It's got a cult following. It's not the biggest show there, but it does real well. I love Kirk Minahan. Been listening since COVID. I'd listened to him when he was in Boston. He made the news, made fun of a bunch of female reporters and got in trouble. Here's what I'm saying. I'm a fan of him, and supposedly he almost got fired. Dave fired him temporarily because he made fun of Brianna Chicken Fry, and Brianna Chicken Fry complained to Dave Portnoy. So it's kind of like, you're an obsessive bitch. You're thin-skinned. You can throw shots at everybody else. But then when the shots come at you, you can't handle it. You're a wimp.
And I'm like, all right, fine. You've been through a lot. No big deal. Give you your space. Figure out what you want to do next. Rearrange all the money in the ads there to get it other places. Pain in the ass, whatever. Give them space. 100% on the internet, people behind Grace, and 100% people savaging Brie.
Yeah, because she's insufferable.
Girl just turned down 12 million. And yes, if you're noticing, I like Brie. I've done a podcast with her for years. I'm friends with her, and I defend my friends, so I think it's bullshit. Doesn't mean I don't like O'Malley. I like O'Malley, but it's like O'Malley doesn't need defense right now. The entire internet's on her side, and
because she's not a douchebag. The internet's going to be against somebody that throws everybody else under the bus.
The entire internet's going for Brie's throat.
Yeah, because she's a bitch.
Dave emphasizes that he is not picking sides and that he just wants to move forward.
No, you are picking sides. You essentially chose Brianna's side. You tried to fire Kirk Minahan over it, and then you pretty much just... yeah, she's hot and kind of likable, but you got to see the big picture. She's a bitch.
Adding this.
I totally get both sides. If I was a lawyer and you said, Dave, you have to go to court and you got to argue for Brie or for O'Malley, I think I can make a compelling case for each of them.
What's the compelling case for Brie? She's literally ruined relationships because she had another ruined relationship. You notice this? People don't want to be around her. When a hot girl gets dumped, not a good sign.
Why they're in the right. I honestly do. I get both sides. I've said that from day one.
E! News has reached
And they reached out for comment and didn't hear back.
out to both Brianna and Grace for comment and has not yet heard back.
That is the legacy of E! News. The CEO of E! News should have this on his tombstone.
E! News has reached out to both Brianna and Grace for comment and has not yet heard back.
It would say E! News CEO. Let's say his name's Ron Johnson. It'll say Ron Johnson, 1942 to 2029 or whatever. And it'll say he reached out to God for content and didn't hear back.
Happy hour. Happy hour.